Hello, everybody. So we talked a little bit about interviewing. And what I wanted to spend at least a couple more minutes about is once you're in the interview room, what are some things that you can do to help promote yourself best in that environment? Because there are some things that you can do that'll make yourself more successful in the interview. We already know that you need to study. I call it just be prepared. We already know that. You need to study the job description and the job announcement, study about the company. So be prepared. And we talked about that already. The second thing after be prepared is you have to be professional. Some think, well, I just want to be the person that I want to be. And if they want me, they want me. If they don't want me, they don't want me. But first impressions are really important. Margaret Thatcher once said, I can seize a person up in 15 seconds or less, and I rarely change my mind. And some even say it's less than 15 seconds in the first 5 to 10 seconds. But the point is you really have to present yourself well. That means that you have to dress appropriately. The general rule is to dress one level higher than you're applying for. So, for instance, if you're applying for a server at a restaurant, you want to apply for a shift supervisor. So you want to at least present yourself one step higher. That doesn't mean that if you wear a tie, you're going to wear a tie every day at work, or they expect you to. But it's an impression that you're trying to make, and impressions really are important. There's a great study that they did, and they found that 55% of an interviewee is judged by how they look, 37% by how they talk, and only about 7% by what they actually say. Some people get upset at that and think, oh, they're just judging me by how I look and how I talk. And we can chat about how unfair that is. But what we do know is that's how a general interview goes. And so now that you kind of know what the rules of the game are, as I often say, then you can try to play the game and profit from the game. And that's just really important that we think about being professional. Third, most important, be likable. I have said this so many years, and I've interviewed thousands of people in my 20 years as an HR director. And right to the top is answering the question is, I'd really like to work with that person. That's being likable. It's shaking somebody's hand. It's looking him in the eye. It's smiling when you can. It is just a critical aspect of an interview. I've seen people who don't answer questions very well, but still do the job because they have a connection. They've created this connection with people. It's just so critical, and I hope that people realize the importance of that. The last two are pretty straightforward, but you would be surprised how many people have issues with that. And that is, know why you want the job and know why you would be successful at the job. And so know why you want the job. One of the questions is always going to be, why did you apply? And you have to talk about more than just your education experience. You really have to talk about those aspects that you bring to a job and why, the fifth one, why they would need to hire you. Why you are the person that they should hire. And so if you keep that in mind and work on that, I think that you really can be successful over the long term in interviews. So the 5 are be prepared, and we talked about that. Be professional. The most important is always to be likable, which is the third one. Really concentrate on being a nice and friendly person. And I'm sure everybody is. And the last 2 is know why you want the job and know what you can do in the job. Know why they need you in the job. And if you can do that, you're going to be okay. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed the discussion. I certainly look forward to our continued conversations about the subject. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, enjoy a great week.